Rabbit. All right. Good morning, traders. Today is May 1st, 2024. Thank you for being here. It's an honor to be here for you all. My SPY pivot this morning is 506. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. All of the Fab Five yesterday, all of the Fab Five are in daily downtrends. Yesterday, all made lower highs and lower lows, closing under the trap, under the 17 EMA. The trap is even under the 17 EMA. SPY ends the day with a 2-hour downtrend and a 10-minute downtrend. So we are looking for red erases green entries, okay, on the 10-minute chart. Probably going to be a consolidation day. Big move, probably a consolidation day. We'll see what happens. So we got a big red candle down yesterday, so we're looking for follow through. All right, that's what we're looking for. We'll go over all that again when I pull up the chart so you can see everything. All right, gold and silver both in uptrends, both made lower highs and lower lows, closing under a bearish trap under the 17 EMA. USO, crude oil petroleum, in an uptrend, made a lower high and a lower low, closing under the bearish trap under the 17 EMA. UNG, still in a downtrend, almost made a bearish engulfing, came really close, made a higher high and a higher low, but it's a big red candle. Closing under the bearish trap under the 17 EMA. US dollar index, still in an uptrend, made a bullish engulfing candle, closing the day around the 106.30 area. All right. Hey, good morning, Marley. Let's go take a look at some charts. All right. So here's yesterday's candle. Okay, we got lower high, lower low. All right. You can see definitely almost engulfing. Definitely engulfed this candle right there. All right, so we closed underneath. The yellow line is the 3 EMA. The white line is the 8 EMA. Closing underneath that bearish cross or the trap underneath the 17 EMA. All right, so we still in a downtrend. All right. Now, what did we hit up here? This was the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's this red line planted on the all-time high up there. You can see price action came up there, couldn't quite make it. When price trades over the all-time high anchored VWAP, to me, that says that money is being pumped into the market. Okay, so we could not make it up there. All right, so just looking for price action to get up on top of there, and that would show me that money is being pumped into the market. Recent low anchored VWAP right here. That's this purple line right through there. So we closed even under the low. So is money coming out of the market? This could be a clue if we get follow through to the downside. So we'll see if we just kind of waffle back and forth between the two, kind of pinball back and forth in these bumpers, and then wind up breaking out to the upside or the downside. So last time we had a big candle, we're looking for follow through. Last time we had a big candle, we got follow through. So here's the big candle there, and we moved down. This was a bearish MMRP, and I'll pick it up on the 4-hour chart so you can see it. All right, so here's the bearish MMRP. We gapped up this day. Sorry about that. Let me get my tools out, get the box. All right, so this right here, that's 2 4-hour candles. There's your igniting move down. All right, here's your pause, pull back to resistance. That's those 2 candles there. Okay, here's your first price advancement candle right here, making a lower a lower high and a lower low. Second price advancement pair. making a lower high and a lower low. And then here comes your third price advancement candle, making a lower high and a lower low. So let's watch this move right here. We could get the same thing. We were moving up, price reverses and probably breaks through support. Where would be support that it broke through? Let's just back that out and let's get a trend line right here. Well, actually a horizontal line right about through there, right about the 104, actually right about there, 102.76. There's the support that was broken right there. So we'll see if they get through the 500. If they get through the 500, that would be the support. They broke through it a little bit last night, but you can see in the pre-market we're already back over it. So we're looking for possible MMRP, but this is on the 4-hour chart. I just wanted to show you last time's igniting move wound up being a 2 4-hour candle MMRP to the downside. You can see it play out right there. All right, so we got another igniting move today, yesterday. All right, so we'll back up and you can see it on the daily chart, big red candle. Not as big as this one or this one, but you can see big red candle kind of almost engulfing price action. So we do have FOMC today, so we'll see what happens. They could spin things around. Normally, recently, we have been rallying into these CPI data releases or the GDP data releases or the FOMC statement. So we do have an FOMC statement coming out at 2 p.m. So it'll be interesting to see if they reverse this and start getting back up over that prior low anchored VWAP, which would be, where is that sitting right now? The prior low anchored VWAP is 504.19. So I think above that, I might be leaning bullish, even though my pivot's at 506. So we'll see what happens. But I think over 505, I might turn bullish if they can get up that high. But the prior low anchored VWAP is at, let me just see here, about 504.07, in case you're wondering where it's at. All right, so there's a daily chart of the SPY, still in a downtrend. We broke this low, made a lower low, so we're still in a downtrend. We've been recently in this little uptrend channel right through here. It's kind of like a micro daily uptrend, but in reality, it kind of doesn't pass the muster yet. We're not up over the 17, so it's kind of tough to call it an uptrend when it's not even over the 17. But it has been putting in higher lows and higher highs. Can they continue this pattern? We'll see. All right, and you can see here we have, this will be the third touch, although they did pierce it and stab it pretty deep here. This will be the third touch of this line. Typically you get a bounce, so we may wander back to 503, 504 area. We'll see within the next, either today or tomorrow, but FOMC is coming out at 2 p.m. today, so we might just blast right through it and do a bullish engulfing. We'll see. So there's the daily chart of SPY. On the 2-hour, all right, we are in a downtrend. See, the 3 is underneath the 8. That's the yellow line is the 3. It's underneath the white line is the 8. So we have a 2-hour downtrend. So I'm looking for today, green erases red entries. So we'll see what happens, all right? We need green erases red entries. So that's a 2-hour downtrend. And in that 2-hour downtrend, there we left off yesterday in extended 10-minute downtrend. So might be time for a bounce. They might run it into 1030 and then reverse it. We'll see what happens. All right. So we are currently in a 10-minute downtrend. All right. So looking for red erases green entries. So that's SPY on the 10 minutes. So let's go back. Let's go take a look around some of the other parts of the market. Start off with QQQ. All right, so here's QQQ. You can see kind of bearish engulfing there. All right, price taking out this whole candle here and this whole price action there. So big reversal to the downside. All right, and then we got lower high, lower low, closing underneath a bearish cross. And all of that is underneath a falling 17 EMA, but still hanging on to that little micro uptrend channel right there. So there's QQQ. Let's take a look at FNGU. It's probably going to look the same. Not as severe as QQQ and SPY. Notice that, okay? Lower high, lower low, closing underneath a bearish, actually underneath a bullish trap. Okay, that's actually because the 3's on top of the 8, getting a kind of a bearish cross right there on this daily candle today. But yesterday, that's underneath the bullish trap, because the 3 is over the 8. Also underneath the 17 EMA. Okay, not quite the severe pullback that some of the others went through. So there's FNGU. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Here's Diamond Dow, bearish engulfing. Now look at this. This wiped out 3 days of price action with 1 day. That's the igniting candle down. All right, so here's the lower high, lower low, closing underneath the bearish trap, underneath the 17 EMA. Diamond Dow still in a downtrend. Actually, all of the 5 are still in downtrends. Daily downtrends, that is. Okay, so there's Diamond Dow. Let's take a look at IWM, the small caps and mid caps. All right, lower high, lower low, closing underneath a bearish cross, underneath the 17 EMA right there, falling 17 right there. So still in a downtrend. Got a little micro uptrend here, but still in a downtrend. IWM, all right? Now let's take a look at our technicals, and we'll come back and we'll take a look at energy, precious metals, and some of the other sectors. All right, and then the economic data. All right, so here's T2122 for yesterday's price action. You can see we were knocking on the door of the buy zone. The bears wouldn't open it. I can understand that. All right, we went right through the bullish chop zone, right through the 50-yard line, right into the seller's chop zone. Okay, made a lower low down here, produced a lower high, and then started knocking on the door of the sell zone right here. Made another lower high, broke into the sell zone area. All right, made another lower high, kind of pulled back to VWAP probably right there. And then you can see us ending the day inside the sell zone. All right. See if the bulls can throw the bears out today. All right. So you can see we're underneath the buyer's chop zone, the seller's chop zone, and we are in the sell zone right now. Whether we get to the oversold zone, we'll find out. All right. So there's T2122. Notice making lower highs and lower lows, a lower high and a lower low, another lower high, and a lower low. Just a series of lower highs and lower lows right there. All right, T2123, yesterday's price action started out red, ended red with a deep candle to the downside. Okay, this green represents an FOMC day, so we'll see what happens today. On the 3-bar chart, okay, price action. All right, we wound up drifting and melting through this rising 200. Can they recover that? We'll find out. This is T2123. They are tagging the prior low right here, right now, or when we left off yesterday. So we're melting through this rising 200. You can see we're in a bear flag. It's a hockey stick bear flag right now. All right, so the longer we stay here, there's a possibility we make another leg like this to the downside, and until we find support, which would be, it's kind of the midpoint really. Support would be 630.62. So if price winds up making another leg down, we might be headed for 475 in SPY, or maybe 480. We'll see. That's T2123. Unless, of course, FNGU has anything to say about that. Okay, so here's FNGU yesterday on a 15-minute chart. And you can see right here from red, from the beginning of the day, clear to the end of the day. This is the aftermarket, the shaded area there, with a deep candle right into a flat 200 right here. So hope they're not going to melt through that, but they might. We'll see what happens. See if they can bounce off of that. They hit it kind of hard, so usually you get a little bounce. We'll see what happens. There's FNGU. All right, just started a little mini uptrend right there. All right, you can see us pulling back right there to that hooking. It looks like it's hooking 200 SMA. So we'll see what happens on that. Back to the charts. Let's take a look at USO. All right, let's take a look at USO. And this is crude oil petroleum. All right, so we put in a lower high and we made a lower low. USO, if that's okay, as of today, that would be a downtrend. This is today's price action right here. Yeah, 5-1. So we were in an uptrend until we woke up this morning, and then we got ourselves a downtrend in USO. See the lower high, and we made a lower low. So that puts us in a daily downtrend. All right, but we were in an uptrend when I wrote it, and you can see here was the higher low right there, and we had pressure on the bulls to make that higher high. Couldn't quite hold it together. So there's USO now in a downtrend as of today's price action. All right, so yesterday we closed below bearish trap. We made a lower high, lower low. Closed below the bearish trap underneath the underneath a flat 17 EMA right there. So there's USO. Now in a downtrend, wasn't an uptrend yesterday when we left off. So let's take a look at UNG. Here's nat gas. Bearish engulfing right here. All right. Even though we got a higher low and we got an outside day. That's a misprint. I thought we had a higher low and a higher high. We've got an outside day, which equals a lower low and a higher high. And we closed below the bearish trap underneath the 17 EMA. And that's UNG. All right. UNG still in a downtrend. USO just now started a downtrend. Okay. All of the Fab 5 still in downtrends. Precious metals, about the only thing in an uptrend currently. And they are kind of losing it as we keep making lower lows and lower highs. Let's go take a look at silver. And you can see right here we've got a lower high and a lower low closing under a bearish trap underneath the 17 EMA. Gold doing the same thing. It's still in an uptrend till we break this low, unless we start making lower highs and lower lows. So there's silver. Let's take a look at gold. Gold doing the same thing. Again, lower high, lower low, closing under the bearish trap underneath the 17 EMA. Gold, until we break this low, we're still in an uptrend unless they start making lower highs and lower lows. This could almost be determined as a lower high and a lower low right there. That would place that in a downtrend, gold in a downtrend, and I'm sure silver's going to look pretty similar if you want to call that a lower high, it's more like consolidation and then a lower low. So silver and gold possibly in downtrends, haven't broken these lows, but we've got some lower highs built out right here and lower lows. So maybe everything's in a downtrend. We'll see what happens. All right. Again, I give it room to pull back all the way back up to here. So silver trading underneath the midpoint, as you saw before I just erased that. All right, let's go take a look at, we'll just take a look at a few sectors. All right, we're going to look at SMH. All right, SMH made a low, made a lower low, still in a downtrend. All right, semiconductors, nice channel pullback right here. That is a bear flag right there. Maybe they can turn this bear flag into an uptrend. We'll see. They got up over the 17 right here. Yesterday's price action, bearish engulfing with a higher high and a lower low, closing underneath the bullish trap underneath the 17 EMA. Okay, SMH still in a downtrend. IYT, same deal. Lower high, lower low, closing underneath the bearish trap, underneath the falling 17 EMA, still in a downtrend. Okay, let's take a look at XLK. Technology, lower high, lower low, closing under the bearish trap, underneath the 17 EMA, still in a downtrend. Okay, XLF. XLF is, this one's a little flaky. Okay, this could be a downtrend, could be an uptrend. You got a low here, we made a lower low. It's a downtrend. There's a low, made a lower low. In a downtrend, hard to call that a low, being since it's still attached to the 17 EMA, but it is a low. And you've got still in a downtrend. Yesterday's price action, lower high, lower low, closing underneath the bearish trap, underneath the flat 17 EMA. So still in a downtrend. So you got all the sectors in a downtrend. The financials, the transports, the small caps and the mid caps. That's the IWM. And then you've got the financials in a downtrend, the transports in a downtrend, and the semiconductors in a downtrend. Okay. They're probably all in like little micro pullbacks, trying to hold on to the upper third of their last move. So we'll see what happens. So this is XLF in a downtrend right now. Transports in a downtrend. So let's go look at some economic numbers. Maybe there's some light somewhere. All right. Even precious metals looking like a downtrend. All right. So this is not going to help today either. All right. So here's the U.S. dollar index. All right, making a higher low and a higher high, closing at the 106.30 area. Back up to challenge the top side of this bull flag. All right, and they kind of spiked up into where sellers showed up before, and you can see sellers showed up again. All right, so we're challenging this consolidation, which was a prior high. So we're challenging this area right now. All right, still in an uptrend in a daily uptrend because we made higher lows and higher highs. You can see here we are making a series of higher lows and higher highs. So we go up, consolidate, break out, consolidate, break out, and then consolidate and then pull back, making a higher low. Put in a higher high, make another higher low, put in a higher high. So U.S. dollar still in an uptrend here. All right. So we'll see how far they want to take this. That's the U.S. dollar index. And let's take a look at our economic calendar today, because this is the most important part. Today we got MBA mortgage applications came out at 7 o'clock, so they're already out. ADP employment report, 8:15, that's already out, okay? Treasury refunding announcement, 8:30, all right? And then PMI manufacturing, 9:45, ISM, manufacturing, 10 o'clock. Construction spending, 10 o'clock. Jolts at 10 o'clock. The petroleum status report at 10:30 every Wednesday. And the main event this week is FOMC announcement at 2 p.m. And there's going to be a little presser at 2:30. All right, might be just best to stay out of the market today. Maybe just play the pot stocks because they really popped yesterday. Might be better just to stick with the pot stocks, only because FOMC, we don't know where the markets want to set this thing up or settle it out at the end of the day. For tomorrow, we got motor vehicle sales. Don't know what time. Challenger job cut report. That's a new one, 7:30. International trade goods and services, 8:30. Jobless claims, 8:30. Productivity and costs, 8:30. Factory orders, 10 a.m. Every Thursday at 10:30, there's a natural gas report. And that's it for Thursday. Friday, the employment situation, I think that's every Friday, 8:30. PMI composite final, 9:45. ISM services index, 10 a.m. A rig count at 1. And a couple of Fed speakers, but none of them are Mr. Powell. And I think that will be Mr. Powell speaking today at 2:30. Might be just a good day to sit out of the market and let it kind of digest yesterday's move. All right, unless of course we get up over 505 or 504, then it would be looking interesting to me. Okay, if it gets up over that area. 4, Max Payne for today. Let's see what we got. Max Payne for today is 505. That is a possible pivot. Remember, 504 is the prior low anchored VWAP. Max Payne, would they go for it? We'll see. Put the call ratio. All right, not even a full put for every call. All right, so not going to be much of a short squeeze. So it will have to be actual money being pumped into the market if we do manage to get back up over the prior low anchored VWAP. That would be a very bullish sign if we got up there. Being since it won't be a put squeeze because we don't even have one put for every call. And this is just the options that expired today. All right, so there we are with the economic calendar. We saw the dollar earnings. Got to go visit the earnings. Okay, Wednesday. MasterCard's going to report about 431 billion. They're going to report before the open. Qualcomm's going to report tonight. That's 184 billion. Then we got some familiar names. All right, nothing really market moving, but some familiar names. You got GSK, GlaxoSmithKline. You got Pfizer. They're going to report. ADP, which is automatic data processing, they're going to report. CVS, Mercado Libre, Marriott, Equinix, DoorDash, Estee Lauder, MetLife. Again, a lot of Aflac. A lot of familiar names, but nothing that's really going to move the market. Okay? Except for maybe MasterCard. All right, so Thursday, what do we got here? Thursday, big, right after the FOMC announces today at 2 and the presser at 2:30, Apple's going to report tomorrow night. All right, and that's going to be, you can see right there, $2,623 billion. All right there for Apple. They're going to report tomorrow evening. They can move the markets. They've been known to really move the markets. So if the numbers are good, and let me just say, Amazon reported last night, and the numbers were good. All right, but the markets were in a downtrend. So Amazon by itself could not flip it around. But I think Apple, which is very heavily weighted throughout the markets, could definitely, if they come in with some good numbers, along with the reminder of Amazon's good numbers, we could see a bullish engulfing move. All right, so Novo Nordisk, all right, they're going to report 561 billion, over half a trillion there. Okay, they're going to report tomorrow morning. Shell, 237 billion, they're going to report sometime tomorrow. Linde, 213 billion, they're going to report tomorrow morning. ConocoPhillips, 153 billion, they're going to report in the morning. Amgen, 144 billion, they're going to report in the evening. And Booking Holdings in the evening, and some more familiar names. All right, for Friday, Berkshire's going to report. So between the two of them, about a little over $1 2/3 trillion right there between Berkshire A and B. And not sure when they're going to report, but it's going to be sometime on Friday. So we'll see what happens. So I'll take questions in the room. All right, and if not, I'm going to go ahead and render my video and come back at 9:15, and we'll kick this market off. Again, we're looking for SPY. We're looking for red erases green for entries. We are sitting on $500 support. Don't expect a whole lot of downside from here, although we could get some follow through on that big candle yesterday. So we'll see what happens.